Venerable Mahasangha, Honorable Minister, Bandula, Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, members of the Board of Management of our Postgraduate Institute, Chairman, sorry, he has not come. Then the professors, lecturers, registrar, bursar, librarian of our Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies, both local and foreign students. I and my staff would like to welcome all of you for the inauguration of English medium postgraduate degree programs in 2020. Today, actually I have invited some other important persons. I hope they will come later. If they come, we can introduce one by one as they when they come here. So today, I and my staff members are very happy about the Honorable Minister's participation in this inauguration of English medium postgraduate degree programs in 2020. The Minister Bandula Gunawardena is coming from a very respected family in this country. He is a humble, calm and polite person who is admired by many people. Very recently, Madam Usma Karnaratna told me that she was very inspired after seeing the one TV program with the minister with his family, Sihinaigira, last Sunday, because we understood after seeing that the minister, we know that minister is a very erudite, educated, well-known scholar in this country. As a politician, we have seen his debate in the TV also, very smart, very powerful and attractive. But after seeing that program, we have understood that he's a very, he's a person with a very sensitive aspect of aesthetic aspect of life. So after seeing that special program, we have to admire that kind of person, being our higher education minister. So we are very appreciate and highly accept Honorable Minister's participation for this inauguration. So this postgraduate institute of Pali and Buddhist studies is a very special place. Why I am saying that? This is the one and only postgraduate institute in Sri Lanka which mainly functions on self-generated funds. However, I feel confident that it has potential to totally stand on generated funds in the future. Perhaps this is the only academic institute that subsists on such funds in Sri Lanka. So our plan is to develop this institute as a self-funded, completely independent entity, higher education entity in this country. We believe that we have that potential if we have that basic infrastructural facilities, but we are expected to do and complete very within forthcoming 2-3 years. So our suggestion, you see that His Excellency the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa also said that as a government policy, he expects to see all the departments and institutions in this country be financially self-sufficient. So that is the government policy as the His Excellency President expect. So I must say that we have such a target to develop this institute as a self-funded international higher educational entity. To achieve this target, government has already started to financially help us in 2018 with the cabinet approval of 400 million rupees. We have bought 2 acres land at Manelgama in Kelaniya area and has started to construct a 4-story building, office building. Now its foundation level is completed. We hope its construction will be completed in May 2021. For this, we have to thank to former director, the Most Venerable Kodapitiya Rahula Thero, and to the former board members for their dedication to start that kind of big project. Actually, he suggested an additional section to give an architectural view to this office building. That is our problem today now. It cost about 149 million rupees. Since this is a new section and it was not included to the original project when the project was approved by the cabinet, now we are struggling to find funds for this new section. Because without this new section, it is difficult to complete the office building in May 2021. So our board members are newly appointed board members. Only one time we met in this month. Actually, my time also not completed 3 months period in this institute as a director. So very pressed board members and the press director is here. So we don't know what happened in the past. So we are struggling to clear up which way and how to complete these activities. So we discussed this matter how to solve out. Then we have to find this money, 149 million, to complete building next 2021 May. So another thing, we have applied for a hostel. We have applied for a hostel land for a hostel in that same area. So that is why I invited that President of the Land Reclamation Corporation, Mr. Major General Veer Soisa. I know him for a long time. He was living near our temple before. So he promised to come if we did not go out of the Colombo for political meetings. He promised to come. So we have applied, actually not I, before applied for a land for a hostel. It cost about 200 million. 200 million. So if we can have a land near that building area, our office building area, we can build a very nice university with all facilities. So So actually, if we have a land, we can divide that land and distribute to the each country government. Like one portion go to the Myanmar, one portion to the China, one portion to the Vietnam. Then they will build the office, building for the hostel, like Port City or something like that. But in reasonable system, we have to apply. Only thing we have to now select the land and identify the land and try to name it for this institute and to buy that later. So these things we have to discuss with the Honorable Minister later. Actually, President of the Land Reclamation Corporation, if we came, we can discuss this very deeply. How can we solve these problems? But this while ago when I talked with the minister, he suggested something, a nice place near the Avisavale area. He can provide 20 acres if we go there and build our university there. It's a new idea, but we stuck this program at the earlier, so we can consider it later. But we have to succeed now. We have already started this project. So actually, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa also mentioned in his, I think his political policy documents also, he has decided to start International Buddhist University. So my idea is, you see, this institute is the institute which has the highest number of foreign students in our country. No any other such institute in here. We generate a lot of foreign income, and we depend on 60% of our expenditures by our own generated funds. So we can move forward if we have basic infrastructural facilities. This building we pay nearly 1 million 1 month. Nearly 1 million. So a lot of barriers we have to develop this institute. So we need some deep discussion with the government side. We have to decide, because my idea is, if President wants to build an international university, why can't we introduce this one to President? This is already international university. So it's very easy. So no need to spend a lot of money. We have already spent half of the money. Weekend later we have to discuss this matter. So we know that Mr. Bandula Gunawardana has developed Mahinda Rajapaksa Secondary School as the best school in the Southeast, secondary best school in the Southeast Asia in home. I heard a lot of students, very difficult to enter the school because they have a lot of procedures to enter. So he has that experience. So this is actually a very treasury to the country. This is like a treasury to the country, because every year, annually, our foreign student number is increasing. Even the last year, then now this year, we have more than last year student number. So our teachers are working hard, introducing very new programs, attracting the foreign students. Over the last 45 years, this institute has a long history and also reputation throughout the world. So there are many students who have studied in this institute, and now they have become very big people in the world, like professors, directors, vice chancellors. When we travel through the world, we can see sometimes we meet them, then they say, "Oh, I got my PhD from the Postgraduate Institute in Sri Lanka, Kelaniya University." So this is a very precious thing, very precious. We have to protect this. 3 months ago, I met our dean of the faculty, Colombo. I told him, "Sir, I have been selected to the Postgraduate Institute. I am going there." Then he said, "Venerable sir, it's a gem. You have to protect it. It's a gem. You have to protect it." So some people don't, actually they have no proper idea about this institute. When I talked with the Virada Soisa, I told so many foreign students are coming here. Some students you can see sometimes stand on the bus stands beside the roads. He said, yes, sir, I have seen many, I am living in this Inauguration area, I have seen many foreign. I told him, all are our students. Ah, sure, he said. Because they have no such understanding about this institute. That is why I wanted to invite Honorable Minister to come and see and give us good guide how do we proceed in the future with all these developments. So my suggestion is, why we can't say the President? Several times he came to our temple, but I did not find a time to talk with him. I think our board members and honorable ministers discuss, and we can suggest him in the future we can do this. So these are the three things I want to tell honorable minister for his kind consideration. So our board members, actually I appreciate our board members newly appointed. Professor Vimalji Balagalla, he said yesterday when I called, if the minister is coming, I must come. The minister is coming, I must come. But now I called him, he is resting in the house. He doesn't know today has function. He forget that. So I appreciate other members' contribution. Oliva Benayaka professor, today is his date to go to the medical experiment because date was fluctuated here and there until our honorable minister confirmed it. That is the Friday we selected. Then actually our these newly appointed board members are very precious to our university. Our former High Commissioner to the Australia and the survey of this country, Mr. Michael Silva, and our Susanta Suduella. I can't remember your position. You had many positions. All are related to the some kind of petroleum corporation or something like that. And also our Susanta Silva, Mr. Susanta Silva. But everybody appreciated these members, each other, because last board meeting we understood that they are very experienced people. They have a lot of knowledge. Each and every problem and matter, they have their own explanations. I really appreciate such a marvelous and experienced board of management. And also I want to thank Minister to appoint such a very knowledgeable people to this board of management. We know our academic side, we know our Madam Kusuma Karnaratna. Actually in the Colombo University I joined to his department. During her headship time of the Sinhala department, I was Buddhist studies, but our Buddhist studies was under Sinhala department that time. So we know each other for a long time. So I invited her to talk a few words after my welcome speech. And our Professor Chandra Vijay Bandar also, we know, very famous. He was the Vice Chancellor of the University of Sri Jayawardena, where I got my first degree there. So he was my teacher actually. Some classes I attend some classes. So I appreciate all of Ratna Vijayatunga, Senior Professor Ratna Vijayatunga also has come. She is an eminent scholar in this country, and Madam Piris also has come. She is teaching Pali here. And our staff members, Actually, I am new to this. They are the real owners of this institute, but it is little look like unfair. I am going to introduce them. But anyway, Professor Ralvi Padmasiri, Reverend Professor Ralvi Padmasiri is the head of the Department of Buddhist Thought, and Professor Vasanta, and Professor Desapre Punasena, and Dr. Asoka Velitota and the Venerable Vadnagala Panyaloka. And our research, we have another 2 research members to assist the student, and our registrar and Sumit Jayasekara, and our Versa assistant our Versa Sumitipal, Miss Madam Sumitipal, and our librarian Geeta, and other non-academic members are here. Our visiting lecturers are here. Venerable Dr. Madhihe Subasiri is lecturing the University of Colombo, and he has participated. Our English instructor, George Turner, from England actually. One from our Venerable Anand, the Sri Lankan, he is also our English instructor. Actually, I thought we have more than 300, 400 foreign students come here every year. Then after coming here, I inquire about that. They are going in other places to learn English. Spending a lot of money, British Council, American Center, or other places. Here we had some English program, but then I planned to design a new English program with the help of these teachers. So I introduced a new one. I'm going to introduce a new one. We have drafted all documents and plan. Monday we are going to start it. It is called English for Buddhist Studies. English for Buddhist Studies. So I want to tell these students, if you go other places, you may learn English, but here we are going to teach you 2 things. One is English based on, other one is the Buddhist literature. We take examples to teach you English from the Buddhist sources. Jataka stories, Dhammapadatta, commentary stories, like that. Very simple way we start the first step. Second step, we spread it towards the subject area, Buddhist economic, politics, etc. Third level, we are going to teach you how to write a thesis or a introduction of a book, a thesis, or a first chapter, or a proposal. You are writing in the class. Because we have some research methodology classes here. Teachers teach how to write, but when they practically do, they can't do that. So my intention, my plan is to third level, when your basic knowledge grow up, you have to write with the teachers in the classes. So my request is, don't go here and there to learn English. We have very good staff for teaching. George Turner, Oliver Turner is from UK. He's a very experienced and native English speaker. They have fully understood my intention, so they will teach you every Monday and Tuesday. Morning 3 hours Monday, and Tuesday 3 hours Monday. Same class, if the number is very high, we hope to divide same class. We will continue in the afternoon. So we plan to do it very enthusiastically. We are going to give you the 2 books free of charge. Free of charge, we are going to do these 2 textbooks for your studies. So the Monday when you register, you can take these 2 books from the office. So please come and participate our English class. from 2nd March. So Professor Vasanta has also introduced English medium Buddhist Ayurvedic program, master degree program, counseling, English medium Buddhist Ayurvedic counseling master degree program. So before we had only single medium, but now we are going to start this year English medium on Sundays. Actually, we have a lot of plans and programs to start, but this building is not enough. That is the unfortunate thing. I want to start Chinese language for postgraduate studies. We have it here. Program is already approved, but no time, no enough space. And Tibetan also. One Tibetan student is supposed to come this year. I told him, if you teach here Tibetan, I will find you the place to stay free of charge. So I think he will come. So we can arrange nice class for the Tibetan language, because you know Pali, Sanskrit, Chinese and Tibetan are the basic 4 primary languages for the Buddhist studies. So we have a lot of plans, especially the problem. Even you see, sir, we prepared 2 inauguration sessions. One is last Saturday for the single medium student. More than 200, I think 50 students came. Today we organized another one. All these are English medium and mostly foreign students. So we can't do together because this hall is not enough. So that is why we are in hurry to go to the Manilgaman. If we 2021, if we have that big voice toy building, I think we can solve many problems after that. So I'm not going to talk too much, but you know, all of you come to Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka Buddhist studies is very recognized and well famous, accepted throughout the world. After graduating here, you can join any university in the world, Oxford, Cambridge, UCLA, whatever recognized high-class universities. So English and your subject knowledge should be very perfect. Our staff and we are trying to do our best to reach your aim. Please spend most of the time in the library, use the computers, try to improve your English knowledge and other skills. So our country is very special for the Buddhist studies. Even in the past, you know, even in the past we had such a developed system in Sri Lanka. After telling a few things, I am going to conclude this my speech. You know, the most venerable Buddhaghosa came from India to Mahavihara, our famous university in that time. He wanted to translate Sinhalese commentaries to the Pali language. Those days, Pali was the international language, not like English today. So Mahavihara Academia did not allow him to do just his application, reject the application. Then they told him, no, first you have to prove your capability to translate such a big volume of commentaries to the Pali. So the Mahavihara Academia gave him one stanza from the Samyutta Nikaya, very famous, Jata Sutta, Anto Jata Bhajata, very famous one, to write a thesis. Then Buddhaghosa wrote a thesis. It is the Visuddhimagga, path of purification. So I want to tell this, that we had such a developed system of Buddhist education in this country. So after European people come in here, it modified actually. So that is why Sri Lankan Buddhist studies is very highly accepted and respected by the other countries. We have Pali knowledge, Sanskrit knowledge, so basic source knowledge is very high our student. So, so many reasons. You also, I think, coming to Sri Lanka, maybe that kind of characteristic, considering that kind of characteristic. Another one is, you know, that our most venerable Aryadeva, one of the prince in our country those days, he became a monk. Time is up, no? Okay. It's very strict. Even the director, he can order. So, he went to meet the venerable, most venerable Nagarjuna, very famous scholar. Nagarjuna created the Madhyamaka tradition based on Sunyata concept. Then Nagarjuna's institute did not accept him. They did not allow him to enter into the university, Nagarjuna's monastery or university. Said, no, we cannot open for you. He said, I am from scholar from Sri Lanka. No, we cannot accept you. Prove your knowledge. Then Nagarjuna took a bowl, patra, pour the water, very clear water, full with the water and send to the Aryadeva. After seeing our Sri Lankan monk, prince, what is the meaning of this? Nagarjuna did not ask me to come inside, but he sent a bowl, water, full with the water. It means that we need a person full with knowledge, not the empty people to our institute. Then our Aryadeva understood that Sri Lankans are very smart, so very knowledgeable people. The Buddhist monk has needle. He put the needle into the water and asked that small monk to go and throw it to the Nagarjuna. It means that my knowledge spears into the bottom of the brain, like bottom of that needle went into the bottom of the bowl. So after seeing this, Nagarjuna understood, oh, this man is not the easy man. Asked him to come inside. Then later he was the successor of the Nagarjuna of the Madhyamaka tradition. So I want to tell these two incidents that we had such a developed education system between Sri Lanka and India. So you are lucky to being a part of this institute. We are ready to help you and to reach your goal. So thank you very much being a part of this inauguration. I wish you all the luck. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you always.